Hello friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. Today we're going to be doing the perfect makeup tag. This was created by Morgan Turner and Patty Alonso. I will of course have both of their videos down in my description box as well as the questions. I can't resist a good tag video. I love tag videos. They're just fun. It's nice to chit chat. It opens up different questions about different things. I always love hearing your responses. As always, I tag anyone who has a channel to do this tag. And even if you don't have a channel, leave your answers in the comment section. That's one of my favorite parts about these videos is reading your answers. I love doing tag videos, and this one I think is gonna be fun. The questions are very much so just like, what is the best of the best? And I thought that was really interesting. And also something I haven't really done in a while. I haven't talked about my favorites of different categories, and this is also inspiring me to bring back my top 10 series that I haven't done in over a year. It's where I broke down like my top 10 eyeshadow palettes, lipsticks, lip glosses, blushes, highlights, all that good stuff. So I think I'm gonna bring that back soon. Let me know if you want that. And if so, also let me know if you're cool with me separating blush as in top 10 creams and top 10 powders, because I literally cannot pair them together. I just can't. My beanie is falling off my head. My goodness. Before we hop into it, I did of course film this look. I film every look you see on camera. It should already be up on my channel by the time this video goes up. It's from my Alien Cosmetics Not Normal 2 Looks video. And also let me just give you my details. I'm not sure where this choker is from because it was a gift. These plugs are from Hear No Evil Jewelry on Etsy. You can use my non-affiliated discount code BUTEBEAN for 10% off. This is a Neff brand beanie, and I'm sure someone's gonna ask about this shirt. One, the brand doesn't exist anymore, and two, I had a bad experience with that brand, so even if they did exist, I would not tell you. But I'm sure you could probably Google a very similar shirt and it would pop up. I've had this for years, so it's old, it's dingy, it has bleach stains on it from work. It's a whole mess. Anyways, let's just hop into these questions. We have 10 questions to go through, so let's chat about them. Question number 1, which primer creates the perfect base? I literally could not narrow it down to one, so I picked my top 2, and I also like pairing them together, and I wore them together today. I'm pretty sure my number 1, like if I had to pick, this would be the number 1, but it's the Milk Hydrogrip primer. This is, I think, my 3rd one that I'm going through, maybe my 2nd one, I'm not sure. I've been using this for a really long time. It lasts a really long time. I've only used this particular one twice because it's brand new. I love it. It creates such a nice tacky base for anything to stick on top of, whether you're going in with foundation or just going straight to concealer or whatever you use. And it also feels very just cooling and refreshing and hydrating. I have normal to dry skin for reference. I love this primer. I've been shouting it from the rooftops for a couple years now. It's my favorite. I think it forever will be my favorite. And then kind of tied or slightly underneath it, I'm also gonna shout out the Glossier Futuredew. I tried this over a year ago and I love it. I'm getting close to the end as well. I think I'm like 2/3 of the way done, so I'm definitely gonna have to repurchase this once I get lower. I've been using this particular one nonstop the last couple months because I just love how glowy it is. It's also tacky, but not as tacky as the Hydrogrip, and it leaves your skin looking so dewy and very just glowy. I love this. I like wearing this on no makeup days. I've been loving it this summer because I kind of skip foundation in the summer a lot. I mean, I skip foundation off and on throughout the year, but especially in the summer because it's too hot in Florida for all that. So I really like the way this just looks on my skin, and then I go straight in with concealer. This is beautiful, and these together are match made in heaven. I'll go in with the Milk one first, let that sit for a couple minutes, and then I go in with the Glossier, and it is beautiful. Question number 2, which foundation has the perfect finish? So like I just mentioned, I haven't been wearing foundation for probably 2 months. I did wear it today for the purpose of this video, but when I do wear foundation, my number 1 favorite foundation when I want to look and feel my best is the Bite Beauty Changemaker foundation. Mine is in the shade L15. I tried this for the first time whenever it launched, I think last January, so it's been a long time since I've been using this one. For me, it's kind of a light to medium buildable coverage. I usually do more of a sheer amount, so it's more on the light side than the medium side. For me, it's a very just natural satin finish. It's not overly dewy, which I do like a dewy complexion, but with foundation, sometimes it's nice to just have something more satiny, natural, and then you can build your dewy things on top of it. This is just so beautiful. It lasts such a long time on my skin. It never looks bad or cakey. Again, I did wear it today, even though I haven't been wearing foundation for probably 2 months now. This is so lovely. It's my favorite. I'm probably probably over halfway done with it at this point. I like the squeezy tube. I just love this foundation so, so much. It is beautiful. Question number 3, which concealer gives the perfect coverage? So for me, perfect coverage is gonna be more on the medium side. With concealer, I don't want it to be super sheer or light, but I do not want like a full coverage foundation. It's just too much for my under eyes. I don't want it. And this one's actually a recent favorite. This was a gift from my subscriber, Justine. This is the Rare Beauty Concealer, and I've been so obsessed with it. It's in the shade 130N. For me, it's just such a beautiful, creamy, slightly dewy, but mostly just natural satiny finish. It blends like an absolute dream, and I just love the finish it leaves under my eyes. It has me feeling covered where I'm not like looking tired anymore, but it's not so full that it's heavy and cakey. It is so lightweight and so beautiful. I will definitely be repurchasing this at some point. I do have 2 other concealers I can work through once I'm done with this one, but pretty sure this has become my new favorite concealer of all time. I never thought I'd see the day where I preferred a more high-end concealer over a drugstore one, because there are so many good affordable ones out there, like the e.l.f. Hydro Camo one. The Juvia's Place one is really good. The Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate. There's a lot of good ones out there, but this Rare Beauty one has just become my absolute favorite. I just love how lightweight it is, and it feels just so nourishing under the eyes. Such a good concealer. You already know I've been wearing this nonstop for like 2 months now. Number 4, which powder gives you the perfect blur? You all know the answer to this, don't you? It is forever and always my Milk Makeup Blur Translucent Powder. Forever my favorite. It's been my favorite for probably at least 2 years now, if not more. This is, I think, my 3rd one that I'm going through. It is so good. Lately, I've been wearing a different one just because I was trying to get use out of other things, but I did pull this one out again today, and it makes me wonder why I ever switch away from it temporarily. I don't use this on my whole face personally, because I do like the rest of my face to have more of a satiny, glowy finish, and this doesn't make me feel matte, but it also doesn't make me glowy. But I do use it on my T-zone area, under my eyes, in like my smile line region. This is just so good. It's never, ever, ever made me look cakey or too powdery. It always just sinks into the skin so, so nicely. It leaves such a beautiful blurred effect without it feeling matte. This is such a good powder. I love this powder with my entire heart. Number 5, which bronzer has the perfect undertone? I did want to give 2 answers for this because I have a cream and a powder, and I think you will know what both are. The bronzer I've been wearing lately is my cream one. This is the Milk Makeup Baked Bronzing Stick. It's what I've been wearing. It's just such a beautiful shade. It has some warmth to it, but it's not orange on my super pale skin. It blends like an absolute dream. I use both a brush or a sponge, just depending on what I'm feeling. It's so creamy, it blends so nicely, it looks so good on the skin. I really like how this looks on me. I think this is such a beautiful undertone. Again, it has some warmth without it being orange, and it's just so good. And I've been using this forever. I've probably had this stick for 3 years. It doesn't smell bad. I promise it's not expired. I mean, according to the date on the packaging, it's probably expired, but it's fine. And I still have so much left. And I go through spurts where I'll use this every day for a few months. So this lasts forever. I highly recommend getting the mini if you're interested in buying this, because this lasts a lifetime. And the powder one that is my favorite is the Becca Bali Sands, which will soon not be available anymore, and mine is almost gone. This is my favorite powder bronzer. I have other powder bronzers that I enjoy. I have one from Colourpop. I have a bronzer palette from Pixie. But this one has been my favorite for years. I don't even think the swatch is gonna show up very well because it's very sheer and then it builds up really beautifully. It has just such a nice glow to it. It's not a matte bronzer. I wanna try to build the swatch up more so you can really see it. Yeah, I don't think you're really gonna be able to see it. It just builds and blends so nicely on the skin. Unfortunately, this isn't gonna be available anymore. They're gonna be closing down very soon. But I did have to shout it out because it is my favorite powder bronzer. It's my favorite undertone. I'm gonna have to go on a quest for a new favorite one once this one is gone. I do like my Colourpop one, the Talk to the Palm bronzer. That one's really nice, so I'm not in a desperate need to find a new one, but this has been my favorite for a while. I only don't want to repurchase it because I feel like it's just time for me to try new things, so I'm just gonna let that one go. I will use it until it's gone and then move on. But those are my 2 favorite bronzers in 2 different formulas. I think they look so good on pale skin and I just love them. I love them a lot. Question number 6, which blush has the perfect shade? So when I was looking for my answer for this, I was specifically looking at the blush shade, not the formula or the combination of the 2, which I do love these formulas a lot. But this answer is specifically about the shade. And again, I have two because I wanted to pick a cream and a powder because I love both. And I actually wore both of these together on my face. I did the cream first and then kind of put a little of the powder over top of it. For the cream, I gave it to the Cottage Life Blush Stick from Colourpop. This came out this year and I just love it. I love a warm terracotta brownie colored blush. I just think it's so beautiful. It looks good year round in my opinion. It looks great with fall looks, winter, spring, summer, all the colors of the rainbow. If all of my blush disappeared, this would be one of the first ones I bought. It's just so pretty. I love the stick formula, and they recently made it even better, which I thought it was good to begin with, but the newer sticks are even creamier and easier to blend. So that is my answer for the cream part of this. I just love this kind of a color so much. And then for powder, I wonder how many of you will guess this. It's Little Jasmine from Odin's Eye. I love this blush. It's so good. I've been loving it for probably over a year now. I think I've been using this. It's just, again, a very warm terracotta. It has a little bit of rosiness to it, but it's mostly on that brownish end. And this particular one is also very glowy, which I love. I live for this blush. One of my absolute favorites, if not my #1 favorite, if I'm being honest with you. It's definitely in my top 5. I just love that color. That color is so good. I could wear this color probably every day and I wouldn't be sad about it. Both of these together are just such a match made in heaven as well. I really liked layering them on my face at the same time. Yeah, I really like it. Question number 7, which highlight has the perfect finish? So I immediately knew the answer to this one. I didn't even have to go searching. The answer to this is our Lord and Savior Fenty How Many Carats Diamond Bomb. Look how used and abused mine is. There are so many holes and pans showing in this. I'm wearing it today. I just love this. It's probably my #1 favorite highlight in my whole collection, but the finish itself is for this answer, and I just love the finish. It's simply just like a sheer, almost putty-like formula, but it's not a cream. And it's just sparkles. It's just wetness. It literally looks like dewy diamonds upon your cheeks. It's so pretty. I also have this one in the Rosé Rave one, I think is what it's called. It's pink. It's also beautiful. Love the finish. I would be so happy if Fenty came out with this formula in like a million different shades. I'm pretty sure there's a darker one as well. It's just obviously not meant for my pale skin. But yeah, I want this in a million more colors because it's such a good formula. It's so smooth, even though it's like glittery sparkly, it's not chunky. You don't feel grittiness. It doesn't feel like there's glitter. It just looks like sparkly dewiness, and outside in the sun, it's beautiful. In low light, it's beautiful. It's such a good highlight. Question number 8, which lipstick has the perfect formula? And I had to really think about this one because I wasn't sure how I was going to answer it, and because it specifically asks for lipstick, I immediately didn't think about glosses. And then as far as lipstick goes, I do like and use regular lipsticks, but I couldn't think of one particular formula that I deem as my absolute favorite because I don't wear regular lipstick too often. I feel like I use gloss most of the time and then liquid lipstick after that. So I figured I would just shout out my favorite liquid lipstick formula, which is from Dose of Colors. This particular shade is in Cork. It's what I'm wearing today. One of my favorite lipsticks ever. I love this formula. It's just so good. This particular shade is such a yummy color. I don't know why I swatched it. You can see it on my mouth. But it's just such a good formula. It's very lightweight. It's not too heavy. It does dry all the way down as most liquid lipsticks do, unless it's like a creamy liquid lipstick. But I always wear a lip balm or a lip mask on my lips anyways, so when I apply my liquid lipstick, it stays a little bit creamier. Like this, I can kind of rub my lips together and it doesn't feel like it's dry and cracky. But even if I weren't, this one doesn't feel like it's drying my lips out like a desert. It feels just very comfortable. It lasts a very long time. It's nice and lightweight. I really like this lipstick formula. I've been in love with this liquid lipstick formula, my goodness, for probably at least 4 years. It's been one of my favorites, and it is my favorite still. I'm deeming it as that today, my favorite liquid lipstick formula ever. I have so many shades of them and I just love it. This one's getting really low. I might have to repurchase it soon. I love that formula. Question number 9, which palette has perfect shimmers? So I wasn't sure what I was gonna put for this, so I had to really look through my palettes, and I ended up picking a palette where I do like the palette as a whole. Don't get me wrong, it's one of my favorite palettes I've tried this year, but the shimmers blew me away, and that is the Glamlight and Michaela palette. I did already do a first impressions video, a 2 looks video, and I did an Instagram video / TikTok. And these shimmers are just so so unbelievably good. It's not often that I buy a giant palette like this, and I'm so glad I did because these shimmers are everything. I'll just swatch a couple for you. Let's swatch Manifest, Naz, I don't know, Bonehead, and Audrey. They are just so wet and glitzy. I love them. They're so freaking beautiful. They're so opaque and wet and sparkly without them being glitters. I love these shimmers so much. I've had so much fun with this palette. It's so colorful and fun, and these shimmers just blew me away. I was so astounded. I'm so happy I finally tried Glamlight. I'm very interested in trying more as long as the color story speaks to me. They do a lot of rainbow palettes, which isn't my thing, but if they just come out with more fun palettes, especially with these shimmers, game over. So good. Need to wipe my hand off now. I'm getting so dirty. And question number 10, which palette has the perfect color story? Obviously, I have to talk about mine. I do have another one that isn't mine that I'll talk about because this is a given. Obviously, I think my palette with Shroud Cosmetics, the It's Frickin' Bats palette, has the perfect color story. In my opinion, this is very much up my alley, obviously. I created it. It's my baby. I love these colors. I've, for years, been dreaming about like just teals and periwinkles and purples and chartreuses all together, and it's everything that I needed. It's so beautiful. I've been loving seeing the looks you create. I'm glad you're loving it as well. This did restock recently and it sold out after a few days. It lasted more than 10 seconds, I swear. And she is gonna be bringing this back as long as there's demand, so she's already gonna be working on the next restock very soon. And I'm just so proud of this. I love it so much. We will let you know when it's returning again. But yeah, in my opinion, this palette has the perfect color story. But aside from my palette, the palette that has nothing to do with me that I think has the perfect color story, which I think might surprise you because it's become my new #1 favorite palette. It has pushed the Muerte and the Flare out of the ranking, but the Kaleidos Flower Punk is just so beautiful. It's probably my favorite release that's happened this year. I love this palette so much. This color story speaks to me on another level. I love these grungy, mustardy chartreuses into the pinks, into the turquoise. It's so beautiful. My favorite palette aside from my own. I love this color story. I love the formulas. Such a fun palette. This just makes me so happy. And I actually didn't realize that this became my #1 favorite palette. I knew it was my #1 favorite that I've tried so far this year, but I did not know that it was my #1 favorite overall aside from my palette until I was planning for this video. But yeah, this is my #1. Such a perfect color story, beautiful, so creative, so much fun to play with. I live for it. All right, so I've been chatting for long enough. That was the tag. This was really fun. Again, go check out the creators' videos. They will be in my description box as well as the questions. Please feel free to do your own tag video or answer them in the comments. I love hearing your answers. Did you like my answers? Did anything surprise you? I would love to hear everything you have to say down below. If you made it to the end of this video, leave me what you deem as the perfect emoji, because I feel like that's appropriate for this tag. For me, it's the black heart. I use it for everything. And if you liked this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're not already, please hop over to my Instagram. It's BeautBean. Follow me there. I post every single day. And don't forget to subscribe. I'm posting most days here as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.